So this is just finishing off the example from last lesson. We've got our function. The question said, if you take two observations, find the probability that at least one of them is less than a half. If you take two observations, find the probability that at least one of them is less than a half. Any ideas where we could start off? Any ideas where we could start off?
Find the probability between 0 and a half.
Find the probability, yeah, it's less than a half to start with, yeah. Probability it's less than a half. Well, the lowest value it can take is 0. So how do I go about, and I am going to ask Rory, how do I go about, Rory, finding the probability that x is less than a half? Sorry? Put it into the equation. If it's less than a half, what's the lowest thing it could be? So I'm finding the probability then, it's between 0 and a half. So what do I need to do? Do you want some help from somebody else? Ben? Find the probability it's between two values. Anybody want to join in? Richard? Integrate it. Okay. Rory, do you want to take it back up once you've heard the word integrating?
Do I?
It's up to you. Do you want to?
I'll just integrate that from 0 to half. Okay, now.
Yeah. Integrate that function, that's exactly right, between the 0 and a half. Okay. Rory, would you like to nominate somebody to do the integration? Who would you like to choose?
Calculator.
No. Would you like to nominate somebody here to do the integration? Angus. Angus, without using a calculator, can you integrate these bits for me, please?
That's 3 over 2. X squared.
I've added 1 to the power. Everything you've done so far is correct. Added 1 to the power. What else do I need to do now? Yeah, divide by that new power. So that's right for that bit. So can you do the same thing over here?
3 over 4.
Yeah.
3 over 3.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Put those limits in. So we've got over here 3/4 x squared and 3/12, which is the same as 1/4 x cubed. If you put those limits in, I'm going to go back to Rory. He's probably tapped a few buttons on his calculator. 5 over 32. Okay. That's what Rory's got from doing it on his calculator. If anybody wants it as a decimal, I think it's 0.15625, and that's correct. So going back to the question was if we get two observations, what's the probability at least one of them was less than a half? And we've just worked out on any observation, the probability of getting less than a half is this. But we want on two observations, what's the probability of getting at least one of those? Tom?
The probability of getting 2 of those plus 2 lots of the probability of getting 1 of those times not getting 1.
So you're effectively saying getting what we want on the first one and getting what we want on the second one,
Plus.
or getting what we want on the first and not on the second, or not getting what we want on the first but getting what we want on the second.
Yeah.
That would work. That's 3 sums. Can anybody think of a shorter way of doing it?
1 minus probability of none.
Yeah, okay, that's right. That is exactly the same as the complete opposite of not getting those at all. Yeah, both ways work, okay? Tom says that, or that, or that. That would work fine.
Yeah.
If you do like before, we've had earlier today, less than, greater than or equal to 1, it's always 1 minus equal to 0. So, what we've got now is we want the probability of not getting, because this cross here is representing the probability of not getting a value less than a half. How am I going to work out the probability of not getting less than a half? What's that probability going to be?
1 minus
1 minus that one up there.
27.
Okay. 1 minus 5 over 32, which is 27 over 32. And now I want then 1 minus that happening twice in succession. That's what I said up here. 1 minus a failure and a failure. 1 minus a failure on the first go and a failure on the second go. So if you do that, you will get the answer you want. I have no idea what that is as a fraction. Whether someone's going to tell me in a minute, I don't know.
It's something horrible. It's like 2.
But as a decimal, it's 0.288 is what I've got written down here.
295
Rory, what have you got?
295 over 1024.
Over 1024. Okay. So if I complete this, we got it there as a fraction and as a decimal.